would fare against the champions of the world. In the preceding provincial games, Scotland had given the New Zealanders reason for caution, and no one doubted the tourists' skill nor their determination to win. Let's look at the teams.
The Scots introduced just one new cap into their side for today's test. He's the 27-year-old hooker John Allen, a tough, uncompromising character. Beside Allen in the scrums will be the only survivor from the 1981 match here, Ian Milne, playing in his 43rd test. Scottish hopes in the game will depend a lot on the form of their excellent loose trio of White, Calder and Jeffrey. And in the back line, number 10, Craig Chalmers is a vital link. His form so far on the tour has been most patchy.
And there is the All Blacks line-up. In fact, they're the all-white All Blacks today with two new caps. You see them there. Number 12, Walter Little, the second 5/8 from North Harbour. And Ian Jones, number 4, the lock forward from North Shore. There's a comeback kid behind them all, Kirwan Crowley from Kaponga in Taranaki, playing his 10th test match today, but his first since 1987.
Grant Fox gave the All Blacks an early lead with this penalty 25 metres out. We rejoin the game with just 5 minutes gone. New Zealand lead 3 points to 0.
Oh, look at McDowell, really put the hard work in there on his opposite, Milne. Chalmers, high ball to Hastings in, to his brother. Good run. Stanger. Oh, lovely run by Stanger. That's the goal line just there. Scotland desperately driving in over here. And it's scrambled over the in-book goal line. Hey, who said Scotland's not going to run the ball in their backs? They've run the ball down to this good position here after 5 minutes. New Zealand leading 3-0. Collapse there at the front.
And they've got to run it against them, Keith. There's only one way you can beat the incumbents, and that's to run the ball at them. And if they are the so-called world champions, in inverted commas, they need to run the ball at them to win this ball game.
Perhaps it's the best in the Northern Hemisphere against the best in the Southern Hemisphere today. The Five Nations champions, Grand Slam winners against New Zealand. Unbeaten last year, unbeaten in fact since 1986. Free kick against New Zealand, against Lowe for pulling down. Quick one taken. David Soul driving up. John Jeffrey trying to drive over. He's just short. Into the backs. Lenine. The New Zealander scores against New Zealand. What a brilliant moment for him. The grandson of a Scot, the son of an All Black. Perfect breeding to play in a match like this. And number 12, Sean Lenine, scores the game's first try under the post. It came from this back movement. Chalmers, he left out Lenine. Hastings took the pass, that's Scott Hastings, and through the loop. It was a mile wide the gap, and Sean Lenine is in.
Well, here it is. It was a lovely loop. It was well run too. Grand to see them using the ball like this, and he had no trouble. The gap was a mile wide.
There is Sean Lenine, who scored the try, his first for Scotland. It's been converted by Gavin Hastings. Scotland are leading by 6 points to 3. We've only had 7.5 minutes gone in the game. And what a marvellous moment. And the Scots are feeling a lot happier here in Dunedin. 6-3, 7.5 minutes gone in the game.
Gary Wetton jumping against Chris Gray. That's the battle at the front of the lineup. There's Steve McDowell right at the front of the All Black line. As Fitzpatrick throws, Wetton wins it. Bashop gets it away to Fox, up to Little. Little looking for Kirwan. And he meets strong resistance there from Craig Chalmers, number 10. He made a good tackle in centre field. So the All Blacks trying to involve everybody early on. Got Kirwan in the action there. There he is, John Kirwan. Well, in fact, there's Craig Chalmers who made the tackle.
Yes, Kirwan loves to be involved early. He asks to be brought in very early to get a feel of the ball and to get a crunch in.
Good chance here for the All Blacks, right in centre field. Picked up by Shelford. Here's Bashop. Chance here for New Zealand. Here's Crowley. Crowley again. Oh, brilliant. Karen Crowley. That is a quite brilliant try from Kieran Crowley in the wilderness for 3 years. His very first match on Carisbrook in a 10-year career. Just have a look at the skill here. The little kick, and then he had the pace to get there. Hauled it in, made the final 5 metres and scored an outstanding try. So Grant Fox adds the extra 2. And what a great start to this test. There's Kieran Crowley, who scored the All Black try. And New Zealand lead by 9 points to 6. 11 minutes into the game in front of this packed house at Carisbrook.
Chalmers kicks out. Lost to the Scottish side. Here is Hastings. He's put the big thump right up the middle. Crowley's going back. The sun at his back. And he's kicked it straight up in the air, so the Scots have to catch it looking into the sun. And it's hard, believe me. But here is Gary Armstrong. What a good one it was. Look at this, playing with confidence still, the Scots. That's halfway into Derek White, number 8. Up to the 10-metre mark. Armstrong in the game again. Chalmers. This is Sean Lanine. New Zealanders have probably already seen enough of him. Into White. Scotland controlling this ball in this one. Here's John Allen. Making progress up towards the 22. And in control still, the Scots. So he watches from the stands. Alex Wiley. Bishop watching Armstrong. White off. Armstrong running towards Stanger. Hastings is through. The 2 fullbacks meet. It's just 10 metres out. Stanger into Chris Gray, and Gray's in. He's not a happy chappy at the moment, is Alex Wiley, but this man is. Chris Gray has scored a try, and the lock must have moved very quickly indeed to get to that position. Scotland back in the lead. Look at Derek White off to Gary Armstrong, and look how you see Chris Gray in that shot putting his head down and sprinting hard as the 2 fullbacks met. The ball rolled loose. Armstrong up. Stanger had the ball, and he fed his big lock who arrived. And look, there were gaps way ahead, and he really had no problems at all getting there, Chris Gray.
And a back to Bishop. Now Fox. Here's Stanley. Joe Stanley. This is Gary Wetton near the 22. Now Bishop again. A little across to Crowley. Fierce tackling in centre field from the Scots. Zinzan Brook moving to the sideline. Alan Wetton rather gingerly now is heading back towards the scrum, which is about to form. There he is, number 6. Very good attacking position here for the All Blacks, right in centre field. Once again, the scrum has collapsed, though. Colin High has had his work cut out in that area of the game, holding these front rows up.
It's a beautiful position here for the New Zealand backs to chip over the top of these Scots. The Scots are up flat, and Hastings has come up on the blind side, just out of your picture here.
12 minutes out from half-time. Channel back rather slowly. Bishop now to Fox. Here is the little chip kick. Now the chase is on. Still loose, and yes! Grant Fox gets his first try in Test rugby. What a moment for the birthday boy, Grant Fox. It's been a long time in coming, that first try. The near miss in Ireland last year. But he's finally got it today, and here's how it came. The ball is channeled back.
We should let Earl Curtin describe this. After all, he's picked it. He's read the book.
Go for it.
I know it's easy up here, isn't it? But what good thinking. The guy really has vision these days. And that was a marvellous birthday present to him. All his brains. Tremendous stuff, Foxy. Tremendous stuff.
So New Zealand strong in the first half, leading 15 points to 10 against a spirited attacking Scottish side. We rejoin the match in the second half. John Jeffrey is off the field and the score remains 15 points to 10, New Zealand's favour.
Good midfield position. Basham running wide and behind. The tackler was Gavin Hastings. Here's Walter Little. Hastings not at home. Yes, he is. Awkward bounce. Try scored. Ian Jones on his debut. The boy from Carmo scores a test try in his debut. And what a great cheer he got from the crowd in the deep south. The boy from the north of New Zealand. Basham ran wide. It got awfully untidy here, didn't it? As Gavin Hastings came up for the tackle. And then it was spun to Walter Little. And I think he realised that Hastings was up because he kicked it. But Hastings was sprinting back and misjudged the bounce of the ball. Facing the sun again, you see. That may have been the problem. And then it rolled loose. And look at Ian Jones. And he went for his first test try. Fox concentrating hard here. Applause for Wetton as he comes back on the field. There's the kick. Spinning high and true. 21 points to 10. So there are some of the men working very hard in these forward struggle today. Ian Jones is through. It's come on the Scottish side. Armstrong buys trouble. Allen and Fitzpatrick meet again. 21 points to 10. Excellent game of rugby. There's Finlay Calder, who's indicated he's going to retire from international play after this tour. Ian Milne, who's really on a bit of a comeback here after missing the Five Nations series, but his 43rd international. Highest capped player on the field today, Ian Milne. Fox. Little, probing for space. 22-metre line. Basham again. Caught by Calder. McDowell. Away to Stanley. Stanley through. Kirwan! In at the corner, John Kirwan.
Yes, it was a good build-up. It was a very good scrum that went across to Walter Little. He went and took the crash ball, then they moved it back here to the right. And now you see Joe Stanley, who picked it up from that ruck. And here's Kirwan. Ball on the outside arm, classical. And no way was he going to let Hastings knock him into touch. He scooted into the line, very low.
So here's the build-up to John Kirwan's 26th test try. It was just a straight run in for him this time, but I bet he's a relieved man to get back on the scoreboard after missing those two internationals late last season against Wales and Ireland. And a very popular try scored by the Auckland winger John Kirwan. New Zealand now looking comfortable at 25 to 10 with Fox to attempt the conversion.
Oh, that's a good kick too, just curling away. 25 points to 10. There he is. New Zealand's greatest ever try scorer in Test rugby, and he's added one more, as Grant has been told you now, 26 in his 31 Test matches. The train still sits above Carisbrook. It is stopped. It's not going anywhere. I wonder if they sold the tickets to watch the game. Basham, away to Fox. It's a movement involving Kirwan. He's through. Wetton. Basham. Grant Fox, a high one. Into the corner. Hastings waits. Walter Little. Loose ball taken by Brewer. Here's McDowell. The Scots look a wee bit sluggish here. Fox. Kirwan again. He's got Gary Wetton waiting wide. Gary Wetton. Kirwan gets his second. He says to Gary Wetton in a gesture of, what were you doing there? And I think Gary Wetton's had the problem with that hand since he's come back onto the field. Hasn't been ripping into the mauls with it, but he was waiting out in midfield. You'll see him just at the bottom of the picture here, in the winger's position. So Kirwan off to Crowley, Crowley to Gary Wetton. He's a very good ball player, and he ran the man in to the man of Bourne. A little high the pass, but who's going to quibble with when it's worth 4 points? Grant Fox 13 points so far. Yeah, he might get to 350 points today as he bangs that beautifully from the sideline. New Zealand 31, Scotland 10. That's 2 tries in a row for big JK on the right wing. And they look a bit stunned in the Scottish camp. Ian McGeechan to the left, Derek Grant to the right. This is Derek White. This is Armstrong. That's Sir Geoffrey, number 6. Here's Chris Gray, wide to Hastings. Halfway, Gavin Hastings. Oh, lovely play, Gary Armstrong. Back to Derek White. That's the corner flag, thrown down in a ferocious tackle. But it was very nearly a try. Tempers starting to fray in the corner. But what a brilliant fight back that was, led by Gavin Hastings. They've got to untangle themselves from here, and it must have been very close. Here's the man that started it all from the little narrow gap, Gavin Hastings. The scrum is not a 5-metre scrum. Here it is again, Gray away to Hastings. Stanger was outside it, but he turned it back into Armstrong after handing off Terry Wright. And look for Derek White, number 8, because he gets in the game with the next pass inside. But we'll look again at the game. Back live, White has the ball under his feet. The All Black scrum is holding. Chalmers. Hastings. He got ganged up on in midfield. Penalty for Scotland. They did not allow him to release. The New Zealanders killed the ball. A penalty 5 metres out from the line. Armstrong played it quickly. Off to David Soul. He's found a gap. Well played, the Scottish captain. From a tap penalty, he's driven in for 4 points, which should be converted 25-16. Let's have a look at this. You see the players just sort of milling around. Gary Armstrong had the wit to take a quick tap straight to Sol, who found a gap on the angle, ran on the angle to the line, which is something you don't often see. Of course, he was heading for the black dot and got it down between the posts. The conversion from Gavin Hastings, it's 31-16, 31-16. It's a lovely pop-up here. Good thinking by Sol and Armstrong. Look how he picks on the wee guys in the back line. Foxy and also Walter Little, and smashes straight through them.
All Blacks were pushing. The Scots want to take it quickly. They ever get a chance to. Another turn. All Blacks delaying it. Here goes Sol again. Up to White. Chris Gray, one of the try scorers. Here's John Allen. Snapped up by Cronin. Armstrong. Ian Milne just a couple of metres out. The Scots are rampant at the moment. Here's Armstrong again. Pops it up for Calder. To Chalmers. Right on the All Black goal line. I think it's coming on the All Black side of the maul, though. Basham appears to have it at his feet. And Crowley gets a chance to bang it away downfield. Well, I don't know. The Scots look as though they're finishing a little stronger in this match.
Yes, the Scots finishing strongly, but unable to add to their score, and the match ending with a disappointing and somewhat misleading scoreline of 31 points to 16.
Well, Buck Shelford, it looks comfortable enough on the scoreboard at 31-16, but you really had a few problems in the first half.
Well, I think a bit of a learning curve out there. You know, we haven't had a game for 7 months, and I think the guys done well to win by the margin that we did.
What did you feel at half-time? I mean, did you feel it starting to come right by the end of the first half?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. You know, going into the second half, I think we're still pretty confident, and all we had to do was start keeping possession of the 50-50 ball that we were losing, and, you know, we still made a few mistakes right through the game, and there's something to work on for next week.
I mean, it probably has been some time since the All Blacks conceded 2 tries so early on in a test match. What were your feelings at that point?
Oh, well, you know, you got to remember that rugby's played for 80 minutes and not 40, and you know, we just play it right to the end, and I think it's...
You weren't worried at that stage?
No, the team wasn't worried. Just, you know, they're basically feeding off our mistakes, and you know, we've got to eliminate our mistakes that we have been making, and they can't feed off them.
How did this Scottish team performance compare today with the performance 3 years ago in the World Cup? Were they tougher? 3
years ago was a long time ago. My memory doesn't go back that far, but they're a good side, they're a very good side, well drilled, and I think, you know, we went out there with a great respect for them, and likewise they did for us, and it was a good game of football.
I think we let them have a couple of easy scores, which was very disappointing. I was pleased in many respects. You know, we didn't give away too many penalties to let Fox kick a goal, so that was obviously encouraging from our point of view, but you know, disappointing to let them have a few points. I mean, you can't give sides easy points like that, especially at a side of this calibre, and expect to be in the game at the end of it.
I think a lot of people here would have been surprised at the way that the Scots moved the ball in the first 20 minutes of this match. We'd been led to believe that you were going to play it tight and pretty conservatively, but was that always your game plan?
Well, we've always considered that we've got good backs. It's a question of providing them with the right kind of ball to do the job, and you know, we did that from time to time, but not consistently enough for my liking.